Good afternoon, welcome on into From Day One. And today it's the Sounds of Dominion. I actually have some content for us, trying to get back to that as the holiday season begins. Today we have the trial of a sovereign citizen. I'll be honest up front, I don't know how long this is going to run. If it does run over, the rest of the trial will appear in tonight's night episode. So with that being said, let's begin.
And you swear from tell truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes, I do. All right. Please have a seat. And if you would please state your name and spell your last name for the record.
You're heading back to Kitsap County, and please continue. How did you come into contact with them?
We were driving northbound in the outside lane of Highway 16 from basically the Gig Harbor area. We were very close to entering back into Kitsap County, and I noticed in behind me in the inside lane of travel a white Ford dually pickup truck overtaking me at a really high rate of speed. And we were still in Pierce County at that time. And I increased my speed up to about 70 miles an hour and saw that the vehicle was still overtaking me from behind. And at that point in time, what I did was I activated my rear emergency lights in my vehicle, which are red and blue lights, as kind of a warning to the person driving the pickup truck that they needed to slow down. Joel that was driving the pickup truck, and he gave me a thumbs up with his right thumb and continued by me.
Oh, you little peasant. Thumbs up and thought you could pass me on the freeway?
Did you just refer to yourself as a peasant? Wow, you really do have a victim complex there. And by the way, I do love the Mike Merrill crime tab in the left-hand corner there. All it shows is that you haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
And as he was pulling away from me in the inside lane, that's when I activated my radar in the same direction moving mode with the front antenna and observed his vehicle speed to be 71 miles per hour, and it was locked at the unit. The defendant immediately asked me if there was an emergency. And I explained to him that, again, the reasons for the traffic stop, and he explained so the stop is based solely for money at that point in time. I told him no, the stop was about safety and requested his driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
And so after you requested that information, what happened?
He basically told me that he wasn't going to answer any legal questions without an attorney.
Okay, so that's all we have from the prosecution.
No
doubt
really
because
good.
The rest of the testimony makes him look bad, and he's trying to manufacture a very specific narrative for this video. So it's on to his quote-unquote cross-examination of Sergeant Mike Merrill. The sheriff who commenters on my last video say bears a passing resemblance to Alex Jones and Hank Schrader. And now I'm looking at them side by side. I have to agree.
Were you prepared to inflict violence in an act of discovery? Require you to rephrase that question. Were you prepared to inflict property damage in an act of discovery?
I guess the state is just a little confused by the question.
Rephrase the question. Did you justify that you were prepared to break out the window of my property?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So were you prepared to break out the window in an act of discovery information for the purpose of collecting money?
Objection. Sustained.
I like how he lists all the alleged crimes he is accused of committing and the financial penalties, like it somehow makes his point for him. Sources never fail to entertain.
Were you prepared to break out the window for information that would make it easier to charge bills? Objection. Sustained. Were you prepared to break out the window to discover information? Me. A man.
No.
He was not prepared, but you testified you were going to break out the window.
I was prepared to break out the window in order to take you into custody after advising that you're under arrest. Yes.
Okay. Is breaking out a window considered an act of violence? Okay, did you have a warrant?
No, I did not.
Can there be an arrest without due process of law?
I don't
Your
understand
point?
the question.
Is it a danger to make an arrest without understanding the law?
Your Honor, I guess the state is objecting to this line of questioning on that particular ground. We discussed I think we discussed this partial motion.
Yeah, sustain. What was your cause of action?
Objection.
Sustain. Do you need a cause of action to make an arrest?
Objection.
Rephrase your question. Is a cause of action an essential component to authorize an arrest?
I guess I'm objecting. I don't really understand.
Agreed, sustain. Understand the question. Did you have probable cause?
Yes.
Probable cause? And could you please let us know what that was?
I'm not sure where he found this version of probable cause, but I do know it's not from his state, because this is the definition of probable cause from his state. But I know why he doesn't like this one. It's because it refutes everything he's just said. Like when a police officer can arrest a person without a warrant, like for refusing to identify in a traffic stop. Typical sausage cherry picking.
Ha.
I made a request of you when I stopped you for the 2 infractions to provide your driver's license, registration certificate for your vehicle, and your proof of vehicle insurance, liability insurance, and you failed to provide any of those items or identify yourself.
That gives probable cause.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, according to Washington state law it is, but you don't go to or you intentionally stay away on purpose from citing the Washington statute for probable cause because, like I've already said, it doesn't fit with your narrative. It's the same with this nonsense on screen now. I mean, where did you find this? Because it looks completely made up. And
Black
courts
law.
don't usually listen to made up nonsense from the internet.
Are police powers in general delegated to the police by consent of we the people based on the promise not to violate the Constitution?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question.
That's because he's an idiot.
You understand that you no longer have any police power if you violate the Constitution.
Now either this criminal is completely stupid or he knows. I wonder which one could it be.
With respect to the Constitution, I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question.
You were operating under your oath. You testified from the beginning. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And your oath is to the Constitution. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I would object. Your Honor, I don't see the relevance. He's under oath here. He's sworn to tell the truth. I don't see how this.
Same. Move on, sir.
Would you look at that? They really don't want to answer that question. Do they move on?
That's because your line of questioning has no relevance whatsoever. He's a sergeant with the Kitsap County Sheriff's Department, so yes, he took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. He wouldn't be wearing that uniform if he hadn't. This is making my brain hurt.
You understand that violating your oath of office contract immediately strips you of any police powers.
Objection, Your Honor. This guy's just stupid.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Mike, I would like to thank you for your confession. We now have on the record that you knew that you didn't have any police power from the beginning, and ignorance of the law is no excuse, especially for an officer of the law.
Really? That's what you took from that answer? What a way to invent an alternate reality for yourself. and you've got a nerve saying he's ignorant of the law when I, a random guy from the UK with no legal training whatsoever, can debunk your nonsense with a 30-second Google search.
Okay.
30 seconds? Less speeds over there in the UK?
Stop, correct?
Correct.
The word traffic is defined as commerce.
I would object to commerce.
Well, I'll let this finish the question.
According to your testimony, your actions are based on traffic law, which includes license plates and other documents that the person is legally required to provide, and this is all based on traffic law. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the traffic is defined as commerce.
So, I guess, Your Honor, that's where I would.
Okay. Is traffic defined as commerce?
No.
Your Honor, the defendants requesting that this fact witness define the law. I just don't see how that's
Objects. I'm just asking that he define his understanding of the law, because this is the whole basis. He's holding something at gunpoint. He needs to know what he's doing.
Did he have his gun out though, or are you just playing the victim again? Because being held at gunpoint is very specific, and something you would remember. And knowing you would be crying even harder if he did pull his gun. Also, and again, for the definition of traffic, you need to be looking at the revised statutes of Washington, because they define the word traffic as pedestrians, ridden or herded animals, vehicles, streetcars, and other conveyances, either singly or together while using any highways for the purposes of travel. Did anyone see the word commercial there?
No.
Mr. Morrell, if Sergeant Morrell can answer the question as to what he believes traffic to be, I'll let him do that. Yeah. Answer that question.
For me, traffic would be the vehicles that are moving upon our roadways in the state.
Okay, do you understand that your definition of traffic is a layman's definition and not the legal definition of traffic?
No.
So do you understand that you're upholding a legal definition of traffic while enforcing it based on a layman's understanding of traffic?
No.
At gunpoint.
objection.
Objection, Your Honor.
You understand that your understanding of traffic is incorrect.
Objection, Your Honor.
That you are enforcing
Foundation. There is no foundation to that.
State's just merely requesting that he take up the gun point. I don't see how that attempted to testify here.
I can rephrase your question, Mr. Haywood.
Do you realize that your understanding of traffic is incorrect based on the legal definition while you're upholding legal laws?
No, I did not realize that.
Okay? You are enforcing traffic law without understanding the definition of traffic in its legal context.
I do not believe so, no.
Okay? But you just admitted that you don't know the legal definition of traffic.
I'm not aware of the legal definition of traffic.
Okay?
Nor does he need
To be fair though, neither do you, so you're both in the same boat really. The difference here is that this sergeant doesn't need to know the legal definition of a word to enforce the law. He just needs to know that a law exists and when people are breaking it.
Correct.
Even the layman knows refusing to identify is a crime, so stop with the theatrics.
More
So
correct.
that any resistance to a legal traffic definition enforced by you would be out of line because you're operating on ignorance.
I don't believe that's the case.
You just confessed to it being the case. You don't know the legal definition of traffic, is that correct? You just testified to that.
Yes, I do not know the legal definition of traffic.
Then you're enforcing a traffic law based on a foundation of ignorance of the legality of the traffic definition.
I was enforcing the traffic law in the state of Washington, which I have done for the last 30 plus years.
But never knowing the legal definition of traffic.
I guess that would be the case.
Yeah.
I love how he thinks this is some kind of gotcha question, like it will have some bearing on the judge's decision somehow. Also, because the sergeant doesn't understand the definition of a word, that makes you right, even though he doesn't have a clue himself. This is some weapons-grade ignorance on display here, and I think we should all be thanking him for his contribution to comedy.
Yeah, this legal traffic documentation is based on the non-legal traffic understanding. Is that correct?
Your Honor, please object. Rephrase the question. Sustained.
This may be stopped because of safety and to obtain traffic documentation. That's based on the understanding of the layman's understanding of traffic and not the actual legal definition of traffic, which is what's used in courts and is the law.
I made the traffic stop based on a speed violation and a license or a registration violation.
Based on your current understanding of traffic, which is not the legal one, right?
Based on my understanding of the laws in the state of Washington, yes.
Well, let's talk about specifically the meaning of traffic, because the whole law of the laws that you're using revolve around the understanding of the word traffic.
In the state of Washington, you're required to obey the speed limits, and you're also required to have your vehicle registered and have that plate displayed. And that was what the basis of my traffic stop was.
And that's based on traffic law, right?
Correct.
Of which you don't know the understanding of the meaning of traffic.
I do not know the exact definitions of those things. No, I do not. I could not give them back to you verbatim.
Okay, so you were enforcing based on one principle, which is ignorance. But you were enforcing based on a legal definition. But you were presenting it in a layman's definition.
I do not believe that I was enforcing out of ignorance. No, that would not be accurate.
Okay, but you confess that you don't know the legal definition.
I do not know. I cannot sit here and tell you the legal definition. No.
Can you please identify the victim of this crime? Objection, Your Honor.
Yes, the victim is me, and everyone watching this video. We've sustained damage mentally, and our collective IQ has lowered from listening to you ramble on about things you know nothing about. It's quite painful, actually.
Correct.
An arrest is an act of force, is that correct?
It can be, yes.
Finding somebody against their will is an act of force, is that correct?
Yes.
And if done without the authority of law, that would be an act of kidnapping, is that correct? Objection, sustained. And if that force is used without the authority of law, it is a crime, is that correct?
And that's where we'll stop. Let's pick up part 2 in the evening session. Upcoming. Till then, please make sure you help, like, share, and subscribe. Get us to the goal of 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. So Boxy sends us those nice presents, and Google puts us on the algorithms. Till then, we definitely thank you all for watching, and continue to rock along here, as we do every day from day one. Till then, have a great evening, great afternoon, and we'll see you all tonight.